We live a negative addiction, positive feedback loop. What I mean by this is part of our culture now is ingrained within our phones, these glorified supercomputers that we keep in our pocket. Every time that you raise to wake or lift your phone, it just lights up. And the blue light that comes off, as I've said before, disrupts your natural circadian rhythm, which determines when you can sleep and how well you sleep. But what it's doing is that it's also linking the gesture of tilting your head down and or lifting your arm up as a kind of positive reinforcement. Because now every time that we're doing that, we're getting that little hit of dopamine or that little bit of serotonin from the screen lighting up. We're more aware, we're engaged. And then, of course, I've already voiced where social media is, and it just feeds it. But I want to take this purely out of technology for a moment and bring it into another perspective. The other action that many people perform on a day-to-day basis, if not minute-by-minute basis, is with a vape or cigarette or anything else that you can smoke. There's the motion of your arm being off to the side, holding it a certain way, bringing it up, and taking a hit. And that hit gives you the serotonin and the dopamine. So now we have two very common, very available positive reinforcements that are negative. And you can do both of them at the same time, even. So now, ingrained within our physical bodies is a motion that essentially keeps our brain active, keeps it aware, keeps it awake. We've conditioned the human body now to function in ways that it was never designed, evolved, and meant to. For example, right now, look down at your hands. Do you have a little bump on the first joint in your pinky thumb? Is it indented in? That's not natural. That's from your phone always resting on your pinky fingers. Or same thing with your ring fingers. We are, in layman's terms, physically mutilating and changing our body in order to get this rush, in order to keep the, quote, positivity flowing. So not only is this feedback negative in and of itself, will now take into account while you are browsing all your apps, all your social media apps listen to what you say. That's how targeted advertising works. Being on your phone and using Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, all of those apps will give you targeted advertisements based upon what you talk about or what they know you already like. So let's say, for example, that you vape. Whether you have a full-on kit that you refill or whether you get disposables, but you vape. And you are very frequently browsing the internet. You're giving yourself the negative feedback loop as it currently exists, but then on top of that, now they have targeted advertising at you for new vapes, for this or that. Oh, this one does this differently. Oh, this one has a video game on the side of it. Oh, this one will have this many more puffs than another one. And so not only have we closed the loop of the physical motion of addiction now, but it is being encouraged. And yet again, someone else profits off of intentionally harming and causing detriment to someone else. I don't say this as a way of believing that people should stop smoking or vaping. I'm also not saying that they shouldn't. What I am saying, though, is that whenever anyone performs an action or does something, you should be aware of what that action is doing to you. Not just physically, but also psychologically, mentally. Every single one of you that can hear this has a right to make an independent and informed decision, one that hasn't been influenced by greed and wealth. And unfortunately, we no longer have that option. So, I would like to round out with this one. If you smoke or vape, there are proven detriments to that. And if you have accepted and you are okay with that, then no one will ever be able to change your mind. You will always do that. But be aware how the negative feedback loop starts and how it reinforces itself. And I say that especially for parents who listen. As a parent, you set the example. You show and say, but to encompass, you demonstrate what should and should not be done. So if you demonstrate the habits that you do not want your kid to follow in, they will inevitably follow those habits. Oh, mom and dad do it, why shouldn't I? Again, this is not me calling out or saying that you need to change anything. I am saying be aware. Be cognizant. And if your child begins to fall into this spiral, this negative addiction, positive feedback loop, just sit down and have a discussion with them. Don't attack them, don't tell them that they're wrong. Just sit there and say, this is what I've noticed, this concerns me, and here are the reasons why. I want you to be healthy. At the end of the day, that's the best you can do. So, thank you for your time.